right, guys, we got a story here of a buyer that approached us through our social media channel, and they want to purchase a property in Durham. Really smart person, great job, and really wants to get involved with real estate because he understands where real estate is actually going. Very excited to work with people like this. Long story short, we ended up working in a crazy market where everything is multiple offer situation. We do make an offer, it does get accepted, and then the buyer disappears. Stay tuned to find out more.
Live behind decisions I chose. Peaks feel good and the valleys get low. Chains for the tires in the rain, hail, snow. It's like this everywhere that I go, everywhere that I go.
Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. You gonna introduce yourself, or are you gonna stay quiet on this one?
Hey everybody, it's I'm Akbani. I don't know what my title is. You should really work on that.
Your mom says you're Chotu.
Oh yeah, this is
Chotu.
Chotu
meaning?
just basically means like someone like your errand boy, someone who runs like small little errands. So I'm that person, according to my mom.
Yeah, we're gonna get some business cards printed for her. Chotu. Or we eventually do want to do a team, right? So I'm the team leader. She's like, so what am I? I was like, we're the junior team leader.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It's I'm Akbani, junior team leader.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get on with your story.
Yes,
instead
let's
of
do
wasting time. So here, guys, another story that happened to us this year. We don't want to use anyone's names, but I need to use a name. So we're going to call this person Joe. Joe reaches out to me through my website, interested in purchasing a property in Durham. Market is insane. No listings, multiple offers on everything. Like we're seeing no less than 15 offers on every single house.
Yep.
He contacts me through, I think, my social media channel. Mm-hmm. So he's been following us on Instagram for a while, lives kind of out in the West with parents and whatnot, but actually works in the Pickering area. Eventually he contacts us. Hey, I'm looking to purchase a property. We go through all of the process that we would, right? Connect him with the mortgage broker, make sure that everything makes sense, like he's going to be able to qualify, and everything kind of lines up. So once we were done with all of that, we said, okay, let's start going to shop. So I showed him a couple of houses. I don't think that anything that he kind of liked or whatever else like that, and that's fine. But then he really wanted to see like 12, 15 houses all at once because he really wanted to buy a property, like has to buy a property now. So we lined up like 12 or 15 houses between like Pickering and like Curtis almost.
Exactly, yeah.
And we did like a whole thing on a stat holiday of like going around and looking at all these houses and whatnot.
Tour of Durham.
Yeah, whole tour, like a whole thing. I'm happy to do it, no problem, okay? So we looked at all of these houses and he actually boiled it down to like 2-3 really nice houses. And I was like, that's great.
I did like that about him. He knew exactly what he wanted and he almost had like everything lined up and he was just confident. Like, this is what I like. Let's go take a look at them. And he was very quick to narrow it down. It's not like he was shopping around just to waste time. He was very serious about buying a property and he was very quick to say, hey, this is what I want. And
very organized, in that sense. So we see a bunch of properties and there is one that's coming up for like an offer presentation. And so basically what ends up happening is that there's two offers on the same day. One is happening earlier and one is happening later. So we tried on the first one over there, but it got to a price point where he doesn't want to go. And still that listing agent is not able to get to where he wants to be, but we basically just squashed that one. And then we just move on to the next one. So we're moving on to the next one that happened at a later time. So we're working on this offer going back and forth. And I'm like, hey, listen, like, right now, when you get into multiple offers, it's really hard to tell what a comparable price is. Like you have a general idea, but whatever the last house sold for, it's selling for more. So you have to be confident. So I kind of told him like, look, man, the pricing is kind of whacked right now. And he's like, listen, I'm young and I really want to get into the market and I'm in it for the long run. Like I can actually overpay by 10%, 5-10%, and I'm okay. You know, I'm going to hold on to it for the long run. I'm going to build a portfolio of real estate and this is fine with me. Like, but I want to get into the market. I'm like, okay, that's great.
Music to your ears.
Yeah, well, it's music to my ears, not because I want to make a sale, but obviously I want to make a sale. But the thing is that I love people that have this mindset, right? You want to build a real estate portfolio. It's what I'm trying to do too. I've had some success, some failures at it, but it's ultimately what I'm trying to do is try to build a large real estate portfolio. Exactly. And I love working with people that want to do that because it's fun actually, because we're trying to do the same thing. So basically he's like, I'm okay. So we're engaging in this offer presentation back and forth. We're at a firm deal because there's no way you're getting a house in this market with having any conditions at all. Like you even want a chance to walk through again, it's not happening. You're buying that house firm. So we go in with an offer. I forgot exactly what the offer was. I think maybe it was like $1,450 or something like that. I think that maybe they wanted to get a little bit more for that property. So we're having a conversation with them and saying, hey, like, I don't know where you actually stand, but they're kind of saying they want to get a little bit more. What do you think? So I guess Joe goes back and talks with his parents and his brother and whatnot. And they come back and they're just like, you know what? We don't even want to buy this property anymore.
Not even at the price that they already submitted the offer at.
Yeah, they don't even want to buy the property at that anymore. So I'm like, okay, fine. But you signed a firm deal and it's still valid. The offer is still valid. I'm going to go back over here and try to kibosh this thing. And hopefully someone's got a better offer than us. So I go back to the other agent and the other agent just starts ignoring me. I'm sending him text messages. Hey, we're out. We don't want to do this anymore. Trying to call him, leave him voicemails. Long story short, what ends up happening is that these guys, my buyers, want out of this deal so badly. And this agent is not responding to me whatsoever. So what happens is that all of a sudden I get a message from the listing agent that says, congratulations, your offer has been accepted. What do we do with this thing? And I'm just like frantically calling this agent back and saying, we don't want this. We don't want to participate. We're not going to go forward with this, like blah, blah, blah. And he basically just calls me back and says, it is what it is. You deal with it whatever way you want to deal with it. You have a firm, binding, legally valid offer, and we've signed it. We've accepted it. And you do whatever you want at this point. I don't care about you.
Even going back and forth with that agent, whatever number that the offer was submitted at was not acceptable to them at that point. Yeah. So there was a negotiation going on between you and this listing agent. So we didn't really think that it was going to get accepted at that number either.
We knew that there was a chance.
Like, I know there's a chance because you've submitted an offer. You have to be okay. It's from everything like you said. But I'm just talking about, like you were saying, the ethical behavior, which is, of course, you have to use all the tactics that you can to negotiate the best deal for your client. But I did not think that was actually going to get accepted just based on the conversation that you and him were having. Yeah. So it was a surprise to just get this text saying, congratulations.
When he ghosted us, like, then I knew something was going wrong with this whole deal. So they accepted it. And then I'm going back to my client and saying, hey, listen, like, this guy doesn't want to let us off the hook. This is what the deal is. And we gotta figure out what you guys want to do. And Joe's mom and dad get involved with this conversation at this point. Okay.
This was a little bit weird because he was the only one that was involved. So Joe was really involved in figuring out what he wants to do. Like you said, like, he knew exactly what he wanted and he was the one shopping around. It's not that he brought, his entire clan with him to show these houses.
His dad was there, just like, whatever.
Yeah, like just once in a while. He didn't even show up to all of them. And then this happens, his offer gets accepted and he's saying he no longer wants the house. And then Joe is completely out of the picture and now
disappears. Now I'm dealing with the parents at this point, and who is not even my client.
It's not your client, and now you're talking to the mom who you've never spoken to before. You've never met her, and now you're going back and forth.
And what does she say? Like, how do the parents?
So it was basically like putting the fear of God and prophets, everybody into Hussein, saying you're our like Muslim brother, and we really need you to find a way to get us out of this deal.
And we know you can.
And we know that you can. So, I mean, you were very kind. You sat there and you explained to them how this works. And mind you, Hussein did go over how this works. If your offer gets accepted, this is firm, this is binding, the house is yours. So once you've explained everything, how to get out of it, this is what it is. You bought a house and the house is yours and you need to figure out a way to close it.
Yeah. So I explained again to the parents. I explained it to Joe prior to him signing an agreement. We even did a form like 127, which is basically like you're acknowledging that you're going in and you understand the ramifications of what could happen when your offer gets accepted.
Yeah.
So like we did our due diligence and we presented it properly. But hey, listen, I'm not out there just to like kind of make a quick buck and make this guy's family and him upset. Yeah. So I wanted to try to see what we could do to get him out. But at the same time, it's a very serious legal issue. So I need him to understand what is actually going to happen over here or what the possibilities are if this doesn't go through. So what I did is this. I have an awesome lawyer in my back pocket, Stephen Shubb. I work with a lot of lawyers. He's a great lawyer. He actually advertises his number, direct cell phone number until 11 p.m. You can call him. Yep. So I figured this was like 9:30, 10 o'clock, maybe pushing almost 11 o'clock. I said, wait, guys, you know what we're going to do? We're going to call a lawyer just so you get some free legal advice here too at the same time. So I made sure that my lawyer can answer the call. So he answered the call and I three-way called everybody. And I basically put him on the phone and I basically explained to the lawyer that this is what's actually happened over here and what can you do. Basically, the lawyer explained to them that you're in a firm and binding agreement and that you need to move forward or you're going to be liable for this. The client thought that they would not be liable because they just signed an agreement, right? It's just a DocuSign. Like, there's no money transferred. Like, it's all good still. It's not good. It's not good. You're still legally responsible. Whether money was transferred or not transferred, it's a legally binding agreement, okay? The money's just there in good faith. Like, you're still responsible for this transaction.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what we explained.
And I think that's another misconception that they have, which is if you don't drop off the deposit money, you're free. Like, you're not in the deal, which is completely untrue. That's just a promise that you're going to drop something off in good faith. But once you've signed your agreement, the house is yours. So I think you're in. This is it. And I think that maybe this family
they thought maybe there was some way to kind
of like a loophole or something to get
out
out of it. And I was really shocked that they were just like, no, you must be able to do something. You've been in the business for so long. Find us a way to get out of this deal. And it was just really messy. I think it was 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m. We were still going back and forth with this family trying to, figure. You even talked to the listing agent actually just saying, hey, like this is a situation. They really don't want the house. Just go to your next best deal and see if you can help us out with something. And he was just not having any. I think he probably just went to sleep at that point. Like, I've sold the house, I'm good. And it was just really messy. And yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So that was just a weird story from this year. Like, and I'll just put this out there. Like, I know sometimes on our YouTube channels, like I give my opinion. It's my opinion. I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I wouldn't be doing these videos. Okay. I'd be playing the lottery and being somewhere on the beach. Like, why would I do this? You know what I mean? I'm just sharing my opinion. So I'm not right all the time. I'm probably wrong a lot of the time too. Okay. But it's my opinion based on what I see is happening in the market. What I get is a lot of comments that people say, oh, you're just looking for a commission check. You're just trying to get this. And if you know me, I'm the last person that is actually trying to close a deal, like, and trying to capitalize on money. I really want to make sure the client is okay before we get this. Because if I make sure that the client is okay, like my business always does really, really well. So I just want to make that very clear to people that I am not out there to make a quick deal.
Definitely not. I joke around all the time. We say Hussein goes on listing presentations and then he comes back. And then when I ask him, how did it go? He goes, oh, I talked them out of selling the house. They're going to lease it instead. And I joke around like, we got to eat. You got to put food and money on the table. But I know when you say that, because I've worked with you so closely now, that it's not about the transaction. You've literally given the best advice that you can, that you know. And most times it works out great. But
hey, listen, we've done a bunch of transactions. Like I think I try to go back and calculate how many I've done. I think we've done like more than 400 transactions. Yeah. I want to say almost every one of them has been great. But like we get a couple here. Like if you do this many transactions, you're going to have some people that it doesn't work out or the situation changed or something went wrong along the way. It's just bound to happen.
But going back to Joe, it just kind of went silent. Like he went MIA. We only heard from his mom or his dad or his brother.
Oh, that's an interesting story too, actually. So his brother starts to contact me and basically tries to threaten me, basically saying like, I was a realtor, but well, what happened to you, bro? If you know
Why
so
didn't
much.
you help your brother buy this home then?
Exactly. I was a realtor before and I know how this works. And I'm just like, okay, bro, so why aren't you a realtor anymore? Because you know so much and you did so many deals. Like it doesn't make sense, right? So he's basically like saying, oh, you didn't let him do an inspection. Oh, you didn't do this. I'm going to report you here and this and that. Like the guy, if the guy just simply looked at the forms, he would understand that we've done everything,
It just became very hostile with the brother as well. And I think at that point, it's like, you're not really my client. Like, I'm more than happy to talk to Joe about whatever questions he has, because we're going to walk you through to the end, whatever we can do in between to help you. But he was just gone. I think there are ways to not completely like mitigate some of the risk, right? Like by talking or getting something mutually signed or something. Like there could have been a couple of ways around.
I don't personally think that anything is going to come out of this thing.
I don't think so either.
Because we haven't heard anything. Usually people do take action pretty quickly on these type of things. We haven't heard anything. I don't know if that agent communicated back to the seller and said, these guys really don't want to be in it. And the gap, honestly, like 25 grand is a lot of money. I'm not going to deny that. But the price points we were playing at, I'm pretty sure someone's just like, hey, you know what?
Probably
let's just get it over with.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think the moral of this story is
get your mom's permission before you buy real estate.
Have your family discussions beforehand before you sign agreements to buy a house.
All right, guys. Buying real estate is serious business.
No joke.
And if you're ready to buy real estate, like really ready, and your mom, you got your permission strip from your mom and dad, and everyone's cool with you buying real estate, then contact us. We'll help you out.
Yes, we will.
All right, guys. We got more stories coming. Stay tuned.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.